Hola, ¿cómo están? We're moving on to a new country called La República Dominicana. In English, we call it the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is a small country, very, very tiny. It's only half of an island. So there are three islands out in the Caribbean Sea, kind of near Florida. And the closest one to Florida is called Cuba. And that one's kind of big. It's a long, skinny country called Cuba. And then next to that, there is an island that is shared by two countries. On one side is a country called Haiti, and in that country, they speak French. And on the other side of the island is La República Dominicana, the Dominican Republic. And on that side of the island, they speak Spanish. So, kind of interesting that in a pretty small space, a pretty tiny island, half the people speak one language and the other half of the people speak Spanish. So, and then next to that is an even tinier island called Puerto Rico. So there are three Spanish speaking countries all in a row that are all on islands out in the Caribbean Sea. And República Dominicana is kind of right in the middle. So, we'll be talking a lot about La República Dominicana for the next couple of days. And we're also learning Vamos a aprender, which means let's learn. So, we're going to be learning about learning. We're going to be talking a lot about la escuela, school. So, as we look at some of these pictures of schools in the Dominican Republic, I want you to be thinking about what's different about these schools. What's different from your school? One thing that I notice in this picture at the bottom of this page is that the schools in Dominican Republic are mostly outside. And that's because it's so hot there all year round. It never gets cold, definitely never snows. So since they have nice hot weather most of the year, their schools don't have things like inside hallways to get to every classroom you enter from the outside because it just kind of keeps the school a little bit cooler that way to not have a bunch of hallways on the inside. So, how about on the inside of the classroom? Es un salón de clases, a classroom. Does that look the same as classrooms that you're used to, or do they look a little different? Maybe a few things that are a little different, huh? So, as we're studying about la escuela y vamos a aprender sobre, we're going to learn about los juegos, games, los lugares, places, los útiles, supplies, y las actividades, activities. Do you remember what we talked about words that end with DAD in Spanish? Do you remember what that's the same as in English? TY. So here's a cognate word for us, a word that looks like an English word. Actividad is activity, TY. DAD is the same as TY. Bueno, vamos a la República Dominicana y la escuela y vamos a jugar. So let's go to the Dominican Republic and we'll learn all about school and we're gonna play. Bueno, los juegos, los juegos. Remember when we had the word playa and we talked about how that was a false cognate? It looks like the word play, but it actually means beach. This word, juegos, that means games. And if you take the S off and you just say juego, it means I play. So that's our word for play, not playa. Los juegos. Entonces, vamos a jugar. Dice un juego, a game. Dame un abrazo. Y Kate dice, dame un abrazo means give me a hug. So in Spanish speaking countries, just like in the United States, there are different games that kids will play at recess time. And they have little songs that they might sing, just like we might sing something like London Bridge or Ring Around the Rosie or something like that. They have little songs that they sing in Spanish too. So one of those songs goes like this. Naranja, dulce, limón partido. Dame un abrazo que yo te pido. Means sweet orange, a lemon cut in half, give me a hug because I asked you for one. So it doesn't really make sense when you translate it, but a lot of our games don't really make sense. Like Ring Around the Rosie kind of makes no sense. when you think about the words. It's just something that you say while you're playing a game. Bueno, vamos a ver otros juegos. Los juegos en la escuela. Here's some more games in school. Dice la maestra, yo soy la señora Díaz. Soy la maestra. Es la hora del recreo. She says, I am Mrs. Diaz. Remember that word, señora? Soy la maestra. I'm the teacher. Es la hora del recreo. It's time for, can you guess what that word recreo means? It's kind of a cognate word. You can guess it from the pictures too. What do you think recreo is? Recess. Recess. Es la hora del recreo. ¿Qué juegan los niños? What are the kids playing? ¿Qué juegan? What are they playing? Los niños juegan a la ronda. Ronda means circle. They're playing a circle game. There's lots of circle games in Spanish. Lots and lots. Kate dice, ¿podemos jugar? Can we play? Sí, yes. Bueno. So let's look at all those words that we talked about. Escuchan y repiten, por favor. Escuela, maestra, niños, ronda. Muy bien. Can you tell me which of those words are girl words? Escuela, maestra, ronda. And which of those words is plural? More than one. Niños. Sí. If we had a whole bunch of girls and no boys, what would we say instead of niños? We would say niñas. Niñas. Muy bien. Entonces, los niños juegan a la ronda. Los niños juegan a la ronda. Let's see if we can put these pictures in order. Dice ordena. Ordena. ¿Qué recuerdas? What do you remember? Which picture looks like it comes first? What was happening first? Primero, los niños juegan. First, the kids are playing. See? But then Kate comes along and she says, ¿podemos jugar? Which one looks like Kate asking if she can play? See, this picture is número dos. Y últimamente, at the end, what happens? Los niños dicen sí. The kids say yes. Y todos juegan. Entonces, los niños juegan. Kate dice, ¿podemos jugar? Y los niños dicen sí. Y juegan a la ronda. Los niños juegan a la ronda. Muy bien. How about these pictures at the bottom? Es la hora del... It's time for... Do you remember that word for recess? Es la hora del recreo. Recreo. Y los niños juegan a la... What's a circle called? Los niños juegan a la ronda. A la ronda. It's recess time and the kids are playing a circle game. Aquí están, los niños juegan a la ronda. So now we're going to take a look at a little video of a circle game that kids are playing at recess time. This game is called A la Rueda, which means let's play a circle game. And in it, you're going to hear some words that you know already, like the word pan. Do you remember what pan is? It means bread. You're going to hear the word dormir. We talked about a dormitorio. Do you remember what dormir means? It means to sleep. So you're going to hear them talking about pan y canela, which means bread and cinnamon. So again, the words to the songs of these kids' games don't always really make sense. They're just looking for words that rhyme or fit in the rhythm of the song so that they can play it together. So let's have a look at this video, A Jugar, and let's play.
A la rueda, rueda de pan y
recreo. Escucha y repite. En el recreo, yo juego con los niños. Okay, now let's try it together. Ready? En el recreo, yo juego con los niños. En el recreo, yo saludo a los niños. Do you remember that word saludo? It was one of the very first words that we learned. It means to say hello. So here's all the kids saying hello. Hola, Rafael y Gaby. Hola, Becky. Hola, Becky. Bueno, en el recreo yo juego. So let's talk about some other things you might play at recess time. En el recreo yo puedo jugar al fútbol. So not football like Patriots football, but soccer in Spanish is called el fútbol, which makes a lot of sense because you kick the ball with your foot. El fútbol, el fútbol. How about bowling? Bowling is el boliche. El boliche. Yo juego al boliche. Baseball, el béisbol. Fácil, easy. El béisbol. Yo juego al béisbol. Tennis, el tenis. Yo juego al tenis. Here's football like Patriots football. So if soccer is called el fútbol, what are we going to say for what we usually call football? We're going to call it el fútbol americano. American football. El fútbol americano. Yo puedo jugar al hockey. El hockey. Juego al voleibol. Voleibol. O yo juego al basketball. Or in some countries they say el baloncesto. Depends on who you're talking to. Some people will call it basketball. Some people will call it baloncesto. So most of our sports words in Spanish are cognate words. They look and sound just exactly like English. So super, super easy to talk about what you might play at recess time in school. So we need to remember that when we want to say I play, we say juego, juego. Juego a la ronda, I play a circle game. Juego al fútbol, juego al boliche, juego al béisbol, juego al tenis, juego al fútbol americano, juego al hockey, juego al voleibol, juego al básquetbol. Muy bien. So, let's have a look in our workbook. We're going to open up to page number 21, página 21. 21 dice ordena, ordena. Let's put these pictures in order. What do you think happens first? A little tricky because not much is changing from picture to picture, but I think the picture in the middle is primero. First, the kids kind of walk up to each other and they ask, ¿Quieren jugar? Do you want to play? And then, what do you think might happen next? How about the one at the bottom? Then they grab hands with each other. And then, picture at the top, they start to walk around in a circle. And that's how you jugar a la rueda, how you play a circle game. Jugar a la rueda. Los niños se saludan. The kids say hi to each other. Se agarran de las manos. They hold hands. Y caminan en una rueda. They walk around in a circle. Muy bien. Bueno, next page, la página 22, dice traza y dibuja. It says trace and color. So we're going to trace the word at the top. Yo juego con los niños. And at the bottom, can we make that look like a picture of yo juego con los niños? You could draw a picture of yourself and all your friends playing whatever it is that you like to jugar the most. So it could be juego al basquetbol, juego al béisbol, juego al fútbol, juego a la rueda, Whatever you would like to draw, you can make that picture look really cool. Muy bien. When you're done drawing your picture, make sure you watch some videos. There are videos about the Dominican Republic that you can look at. You can see how beautiful this little island is, this half of an island. You can also watch videos about sports. There's some great ones that are kind of silly and funny about playing sports that you can see. So look for those under Deportes. You can make me a Flipgrid video that talks about what you like to play the best. And you can play some games with sports. Sports words, remember, are nice and easy because they're cognates. So that makes them really easy to learn and even easier to use when we're speaking in Spanish. So keep practicing, and I'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Ciao.